Hey, Tanya Roof, meetings together. So let's wrap up Domain H, site management, skills 22 and 23. So 21 questions from the exam come from Domain H. Let's dive in. So we started talking about the logistics action plan. So we talked a lot about the ESG in this skill, but it's not the first time we've talked about it. We learned what an ESG was back in project management. So the first vital piece of information is to know the exact times your group will have access to the venue. So when can you have access to start your clock on the time scheduler? So once the available time is confirmed, that's when you can start to build your ESG off of that. So each part of your ESG will have a balance of time, availability, and cost to make sure that everything flows. So again, every piece of information about the event is going to be included in this ESG. And once it's written, it should be distributed to all department leads. So you want to get other input and comments from other people, other stakeholders, to make sure that you've included everything. And then they can also offer, any additional opportunities that you may not have thought of, things like that. This is the document that will be given to the hotel to create their BEOs from. So you want to make sure that all of your details, everything is included in this ESG. As for the venue, you want to know the rules and costs for items received by the venue, and if they charge a material handling fee. So again, some hotels will charge this fee, others won't. You want to make sure that you're checking with the venue and find out what their policies are for allowing materials to arrive on site for your event. And then during the event, and then after dismantle. So the event is happening, things are going. Again, it's called your production schedule. So you're in production. You want to continue to monitor the ESG throughout the program and make sure that things are running on time and according to plan. So you're always monitoring it, you're referring to it, and it's keeping you on schedule. You want to have a good sense of the ESG and the flow of events. So really, this is your living, breathing document that you are just going through. You're going to know it pretty much backwards and forwards by the time the event is going on. In many ways, dismantling of an event is simply the reverse steps taken to set up the event. So I brought up the example of you're going up the stairs for an event, and then when it's over, you turn around and you go back down the stairs in that order. You want to continue to monitor your ESG until the last box leaves the venue. Now, I don't have a slide on it in this presentation, but speaking of boxes, make sure that you understand the useful terms for shipping and boxes and packaging and responsibilities of the freight forwarder as well. So during the dismantle phase, the staff and crew will be tired, so make sure to allow for plenty of time and ensure safety precautions are being taken, and make sure that leftovers are recycled properly, donated, and disposed of. So skill 22 or 23 was mostly about the communication, so managing on-site communication. And this is an example from the book on page 44 of the communication matrix. And again, we learned about this in project management, but the communication matrix is basically the chart that tells you all the messages that need to be communicated, what messages, by whom, to whom, when and how often it's communicated, and then why. So the first step is to define the specific communication needs of the event. That is the first step. And then who are the points of contact, and what messages need to be communicated on site, and then who's responsible and who approves the messages. So know what a communication matrix is and what goes into it. And then communication equipment. So this is how you're going to get the word out. and the different types of equipment that you're going to use to get the word out. So the first step in the communication equipment is to analyze the needs of the event. Deja vu. So you want to consider the type, the size of the facility, your infrastructure. Some forms of communication are a little bit more up to date than others here, but you want to use multiple different types of communication, right? In case one of them goes down, you want to have a plan B, a backup, and know that signage is the most popular form of communication. So an example here, again, from the book, talking about the different types. So we have your walkie-talkies, and then a description of it, handheld, know some advantages and the disadvantages of the different communications, and knowing the communication protocols, and also talking about the debriefing meetings that we talked about again in project management. So you want to make sure that you know that as well. So for the last two skills, manage a meeting or event site, we want to know how to create a logistics plan for site setup, operation, and takedown using event design to achieve goals and objectives. So all of the things that went into your ESG, right? Everything in your ESG is part of your logistical action plan. And then you want to document everything before, and then during the event, you're always monitoring your ESG. And then after, when you're dismantling, again, until the last box leaves the dock, you are still monitoring and watching after your ESG and your event. Then manage on-site communications. Define on-site communication plan to align with marketing plan to meet event goals and objectives. So again, the who, what, when, where, and why. Determine and secure required communication equipment. These are the walkie-talkies, the PA system, and specify communication procedures and protocols. So again, just making sure that you are aware of everything that's going on site and how you're handling your communication, and always having the plan B. So, all right, we're wrapping up site management, and we did 22 and 23, and then we read 14 in our PMM book, and there were quite a few glossary terms, so make sure to that you gave some extra time to that and focused on your terms, and then doing the quizzes and glossary, and then time block next week, which is our final domain. We're into marketing. So our final domain in our 9 EIC domains. I can't even believe it. So next week, we're going to tackle 24, 25, 26. Now, we've got 6 skills, but they're pretty short skills. So let's divide them up into 2 weeks. So 24, 25, and 26 is what we're going to focus on next week. That's about an hour of videos. So in about an hour of reading the material, and then you have your key terms. Not as many key terms for I as we have in H right now for this week. But yeah, so let's focus on that, and let's just, again, let's not lose steam. This is the last domain, but there's a lot of information packed into domain I, and it's the third most weighted domain of the 9 domains. So let's not lose steam. Let's finish strong, and let's have a great week with 24, 25, and 26. Thanks so much, and have a great week. Bye.